Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever felt like you're just constantly running on a treadmill, fighting an uphill battle to grow your business online? Well, if that sounds familiar, you're going to want to stick around. Today, we're diving deep into a platform called OfferLab, and we're going to break down a completely new way to think about success, one that involves building your very own personal sales army. Let's jump right in. To really get why this is such a big deal, we've got to take a quick look back. Remember around 2006? It was all about Google rankings. Then came 2015 and the golden age of Facebook ads, when clicks cost pennies. By 2017, everything shifted to YouTube influencers. And then, of course, in 2020, TikTok shops became the new Wild West. But you see the pattern here, right? Every single gold rush eventually ends. The channels get super crowded, the costs go through the roof, and suddenly you're in this massive, expensive fight just to get noticed. So the big question is, how do you break out of that cycle? Well, that's exactly what we're going to map out for you. First, we'll talk about this thing called the sales treadmill. Then, we'll uncover a really cool new philosophy for growth, the business Horcrux secret, and the playbooks that make it all happen. After that, we'll dig into a passive income model called the Warren Buffett principle, look at 2 clear paths to success, and then wrap up with your next move. All right, so let's start with the hard reality for most creators right now. It's this feeling of being on a sales treadmill. You're running faster and harder than ever, but you feel like you're just staying in the same exact place. The old ways of doing things just aren't working like they used to. And honestly, it's exhausting. I mean, does any of this sound painfully familiar? Your organic traffic is a total roller coaster one day to the next. Ad costs are just soaring, right? Your audience is they're getting offer fatigue. They're tired of seeing the same stuff. And you feel like you've just hit a wall, a growth ceiling, in a market that is just so unbelievably loud. But here's the key thing I want you to hear. This is not your fault. It's a problem with the system, with the old way of doing business. So if the old way is broken, what's the new way? Well, it's a completely different way of thinking. Instead of trying to do everything all by yourself, the secret is all about mass collaboration. It's about building an army that fights for you. This quote from Russell Brunson just nails it. This is the heart of the whole philosophy. The goal is no longer for you to go out and find more customers. No. The goal is to tap into the customers that your partners already have. You are literally turning their business into a sales machine for your business. Just stop and really think about that for a second. What if your product was being sold inside dozens, maybe even hundreds of other people's businesses? They're the ones paying for the traffic, they're the ones warming up the customers, and every time they make a sale, you get paid too. That is the kind of potential we're talking about here. And this brings us to this amazing core concept, the business Horcrux. Now, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know exactly what a Horcrux is. It's an object where you hide a piece of your soul to become immortal. Well, the business version is the same idea. You place a piece of your business, your offer, into other people's businesses. That way, if one of your traffic sources suddenly dies, like a Facebook ad account gets banned, it doesn't kill your entire business. You've got dozens of others that are keeping you profitable and making you so much more resilient. And look, this isn't some brand new, totally untested idea. The marketing expert Mark Joyner was writing about this years and years ago. The principle is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. The more partners you have, the more money you make. And the more successful they are, the more successful you become. It creates this amazing upward spiral where everybody wins. Okay, so the philosophy sounds awesome, right? But how do you actually do it? I mean, you can't just call up a business and say, hey, can I put my product in your funnel? This is where OfferLab comes in with a playbook of proven strategies. The platform gives you these step-by-step strategies they call playbooks. You can think of them like a recipe book for collaboration. They show you the exact moves to make to get your offer placed as, say, an upsell after a purchase, or as a bonus to make a partner's offer even better, or even as part of a product bundle. You're not guessing here. And they have a whole library of these playbooks with these really fun names, like the chicken soup and the sweaty upsell. That sweaty upsell one, for example, that's a playbook for how to offer your product as an immediate, high-value add-on right after someone buys from your partner. The main takeaway is that you're not winging it. You're using tested, proven strategies for all kinds of different situations. Now, getting your offer into other people's funnels, that's just the first way you can succeed. There's a second way, and you could argue it's even more powerful. It's an income stream that's literally modeled after one of the richest people on the planet. This is what's known as the Warren Buffett principle. And just think about it for a sec. Every single time you swipe a credit card, Visa or American Express takes a tiny little fee, right? It's just fractions of a percent. But when you multiply that by billions of transactions, it's a massive, massive business. Shopify does the exact same thing. A huge chunk of their money comes from taking a tiny little slice of every single sale their users make. Their success is tied directly to their users' success. So how do you get in on this? Well, OfferLab lets you build your own version of this model. When you invite other creators to the platform, they are permanently linked to you in what they call your family tree. And from that moment on, you earn a percentage of every single transaction they ever make, for life. So as their businesses grow and grow, your passive income grows right along with them. Okay, I know that might sound a little bit abstract, so let's make it super concrete. We're going to look at two different scenarios just to help you visualize what this passive income stream could actually look like for you. So first, you gotta know there are two main tiers for earning. As a verified partner, you get a 0.5% share of the lifetime transactions of everyone you refer. But if you become a super affiliate, that number jumps all the way up to 1.5%. Yeah, that's 3 times as much. So let's start with a pretty conservative scenario. You're a verified partner, you're earning that 0.5%, and let's say you refer just 5 active partners. Well, based on typical growth on the platform, you could be earning around $500 a month in passive income after just 3 months. And that could grow to maybe $1,200 by month 6 and potentially $3,000 a month by the end of your first year. But now, look what happens at the super affiliate level. Now again, this is a hypothetical, but let's say you refer 15 partners. With that much bigger 1.5% share, your 3-month earnings could be closer to $3,000. By month 6, you're looking at over $7,000. And after a year, you could be seeing $18,000 in monthly passive revenue, all from just helping build out the network. The difference in potential is just staggering. So we've covered the two main ways you can win as a creator on this platform. First, leveraging other people's funnels to build your sales army. And second, using the Warren Buffett principle to build an incredible passive revenue stream. The only question left now is, what are you going to do with this information? Ultimately, it really all boils down to this one simple question. Are you ready to finally stop running on that sales treadmill? Are you ready to start building a resilient, collaborative business? Are you ready to build your personal sales army? If that sounds like the shift you're ready to make, you can get all the information you need from the OfferLab team by visiting offerlabwarriors.com/go. Thanks so much for watching.